Welcome back, everybody, to the Nerdcore podcast, the podcast that reviews movies and talks that nerd shit. And today it is a wonderful Wednesday when this is going up. Um, I'm not sure, but all I know is that I'm messing up my intro. And of course I would, because today has just already been a really hard day and my brain is fried. But of course, it is your host, the Energy Gone here, alongside my wonderful co host, Brad Young Yoda.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to a wonderful, wonderful Tuesday recording, and who knows when this will be put up. So,
Yep.
ah,
Yeah. And today we're going to be starting our new month as we look at the filmography of An Hui. And we are starting it off with this review of Our Time Will Come. But before we get into any of that, Brad, how are you today?
I'm doing better than you because I didn't have to watch Black Adam.
Today's just not my day, man.
No,
Today's just
I
not my
mean,
day. Yeah, I don't know what's going on anymore. It's just not my day. I tried filming I filmed my YouTube video today, but you know how I messed up like 15, 20 times in the YouTube video, so I'm like had to repeat stuff, and I just know that tomorrow awaits a really really long video to edit, and I'm just so I don't know. Today has just been a really really rough day, Brett.
yeah, Brenda's feeling the same way. Like Brenda's had a pretty bad day today.
Yeah.
Oh.
Then I had to watch Black Adam, so that just made it worse. But then I had to watch this, so this made it better.
I mean, yeah, well, yeah. So
Yeah.
what is it? Because we're not in this, I guess, this
No,
is
no,
spoiler territory yet. So we'll
no,
just
no.
let you know that this was better than Black Adam.
1000%. But yeah, Brad, I worked today and that was it. That was it. I came home and I did the Black Adam commentary, sat down and watched this movie, and I'm here with you now, Brad. I'm here with you. But I know that we had to do it. We couldn't do this yesterday because, guys, I was really, really busy yesterday. I mean, I had to prepare notes and watch for Cinema Condition, which was a really good recording. Um, I can't wait for y'all to listen to this episode in like 2 months. I'm not sure
Wow.
exactly when this one drops, but I'm just really, really satisfied with the 3 episodes we just did on the Cinema Condition. So that's gonna go up soon for my patrons, up on my Patreon. But yeah, I really, what's it called? I really didn't have any time yesterday to watch this movie, and I was like, Brad, we're gonna have to wait. And he goes, Brad's like, yeah, don't worry about it. You know, you got it. And then I was like telling Brad, like, Brad, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get to this movie tonight. Like, I'm getting like ready. It's like I gotta do this commentary, and I was gonna plan to work out after, but then I said, you know what? Just go straight into the next movie, and and I'll work out right after I finish. What's it called? Doing this podcast.
Hmm.
So here, there we go. Now I'm here with you.
Which is great. And sad days coming up ahead because I will not be here starting Thursday.
Yeah. The good thing is that Luis and I watched Creed 3, so Luis and I get to
There you go.
do the
So
review on that one.
there you go.
Yeah.
You got a review partner, so you don't won't have to do it solo dolo.
No, but that means on Friday, no Brad on the Mandalorian episode talk. But
Which that kind of sucks, but
yeah,
I mean, you'll have enough people who watch that to help you out there.
just
And
Keon.
when I get back, I'll let you know how I feel about it.
Yeah, yeah. But Brad will be back on Sunday, right?
I should be should be in the keyword.
Yeah, yeah. He probably won't be. Probably until Monday.
Probably not. Yeah,
He found
probably.
a way to skip the Oscars. He found a way to get out of the fucking Oscars.
Hey, blame Brenda and her family. I didn't plan this. I didn't plan nothing.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
I didn't
Um.
plan nothing.
Yeah. Well. Either way, you enjoy your vacation, Brad. I'm
Thank you.
pretty
Thank you, Raul.
sure it'll be fun.
I'm
Um,
probably gonna be drunk 2/3 of the time, so there's that.
yeah. Oh God, Brad. Well, as long as you don't get a public intoxication charge, you're
I
good.
I don't. Can you get that where I'm going? The happiest place on earth.
That's what they say, Brad. Is it really
Hmm.
the happiest place
I
on earth?
don't know. I don't know. It's not feeling like it right now, so
Not really feeling like it right now.
not feeling it right
Well,
now.
Brad, we did our coin toss already. It's like y'all know we do these before because we have to kind of fill out a schedule here. So Brad won this coin toss. That means today's movie is Brad's first pick. We're gonna be looking at three more films after this week, and I'm really excited because I have never seen a film from Hong Wei. I do
Neither have I.
know about Hong Kong films though. I mean, I've seen a lot of the movies from Wong Kar Wai. And then I believe like some
Was
Wuxia here and there.
was Edward Yang Hong
No,
Kong?
Eric Yang is from Taiwan,
Taiwan. Okay, that's right. That is
Taiwan film.
correct. Yes.
Yeah, which like what's it called? It's a different, it's different, but kind of like a shared history of belonging to a country that you know doesn't necessarily shouldn't necessarily own it, but yeah. Um, Either way, what's it called? We're gonna be looking at her filmography as we're celebrating Women's History Month this month here on the Nerdcore. And we decided we're gonna look at one filmmaker. And Brad brought to my attention On Way. Brad, before we actually get into the movie, why did you bring On Way to the table here? Like, what really like?
Um, honestly, I was just we had this huge list, and I was just going through, and I'm like, I've never heard of this person. Let me watch a trailer. And so I
Yeah,
watched two movie trailers from her, and I go, roll, check out this fucking trailer. And check out this trailer. I think we got to do a month. I don't know who she is, but like,
yeah,
she's kicking ass, at least on
yeah,
these trailers.
yeah. Well, Brad, we're here now and we're going to do it. So let's get into it. Of course, friends, if you've never seen this movie, then you should probably get out of here if you don't want to get anything about it ruined for you. But if you don't care about that or you've already seen the film, you can stay. Either way, how that goes, our review is going to commence in a five, four, three, two, two and a half, two and three quarters. All right, cool.
Gotta find the button.
One. I'm not
We're
doing the
off today.
best.
We're a little
I'm
off today.
off today, Brad. I'm
I
off.
mean, I don't blame you. Like after the Black Adam review, but anyways, we're gonna go get into
Yeah,
this. Coming from our one and only source, Wikipedia, our time will come, and they have the Chinese version of it, but I don't
yeah,
know what it says, so I'll skip that. Is a
yeah.
2017 war film directed by Ann Hui, starring Zhao Zun, Eddie Peng, and Wallace Hugh. It revolves around the resistance moments during the Japanese occupation of Hong Kong. The film opened in China on July 1st, 2017, to commemorate and to coincide with the 20th anniversary of the handover of Hong Kong from the United Kingdom to China. It was released in Hong Kong on July 6th and in the United States and Canada on July 7th. Screenplay was by He Jiping, produced by Roger Lee, Stephen Lamb, and Wei. Cinematography Nelson Yu Likwai, edited by Mary Steven, music by Joe his okay, I'm gonna suffer on this
You're
one.
gonna butcher a
I'm
lot of
gonna
names this month.
butcher this Hizashi. His yeah, I'm going with that.
Um,
And running time of 130 minutes, and languages Cantonese, Mandarin, Japanese, and box office 63 million won. I don't know. I don't know how much that is
yeah,
in dollars. So if y'all know that, comment it under the video.
yeah.
Uh,
I don't know what that is either. I don't know how much that
I
is
don't
either.
have an app open to change currency. But coming from IMDb, one sentence: in Japanese occupied Hong Kong, a school teacher and her would be fiance link up with Chinese guerrilla fighters forging their own path to freedom.
All right, Brad. Yeah, well, thanks. I imagine that this is what it would happen this month is that we're gonna have a filmmaker who honestly isn't as talked about in the states as we would like her to be.
No,
So chances are that we're not gonna have a lot of info to read.
it's another Tarkovsky,
You have Tarkovsky, Kiarostami, everybody who wouldn't doesn't get all the attention they deserve. So we have to
but
have like three sentences.
it's kind of nice because it's one of those. It's like I don't know who this is, and like Raul would bring someone up, I bring someone. I don't know who this is, and then you start like going through it, and you're like, wow, I am impressed.
Yeah.
I am impressed with all these.
Yeah. It's like, it's like we're both going on this adventure blindly. We
Yeah.
both don't know anything
I
about the
mean, kind
story.
of rolling the dice and being like, I guess we're going to see.
Yeah. So, Brad, this is your film. I'll let you go first. What are your initial thoughts on Our Time Will Come?
So, we've had movies of World War II all over the place. I've never really seen one of the Japanese going into Hong Kong and China. Like, that's never really been presented in the States. And, for good reason, because it sheds light on the fact that, Japan entered China and started butchering and raping and pillaging. That's what they did.
Hmm.
Many, it's really not in the textbooks. They just said, like, maybe a little one sentence thing in the textbooks that say
They
this.
mentioned the rape of Nanking. That's what they mentioned in China,
Kinda,
and then that's it.
kinda. They
Yeah.
say that, and that's it.
Yeah. They're like,
They
oh,
never
there's a
go into
bunch of.
context. There have been no photos. Although on TikTok, this guy said he had a book of photos, and that disappeared. Um, but they've never really shown that side of history, at least in the states wise. So this is very eye opening uh, on that, because I mean we've seen U.S. versus Japan, U.S. versus Germany. We've seen basically like every battlefield front other than Japan and China. And so this was I'm just gonna say I really like this. I really like this film for being what 2 hours. It does not feel like 2 hours. Anne Way has her the she can frame. She fucking like she knows she gets the most out of her actors. Like they are a great cast in this, and the story overall just keeps you glued to the screen. So I really enjoyed this film. Some parts of it I do feel lagged. I do feel there was a little bit of lagging here and there. But for the most part, like it was very action packed and very just overall a great film.
All right. Um, Brad, I feel the same as you. I felt very impressed by Anwei's visual language and her storytelling abilities when it came to talking about this story of resistance, about family and love. And she's kind of like juggling all these different things, but at the same time, like she's really patient with her directing, that it's easy to really fall into the story and really
Hmm.
lose yourself in there, where I didn't really feel like this movie ever dragged for me. Now, what's it called? I'm sure that I think that the movie would have a perfect pacing if I didn't have to see some ads in it, of course, right? But
Of course,
yeah,
Tubi. Thank you,
but
Tubi, for the film. Not so much for
the
however many
ads,
6 ads or something.
yeah. Oh
Because
god,
they Tubi must know is like every good part. It'd be like ad. It's like
yeah, yeah. But like you say, she doesn't just approach this as a simple drama. Like there's hints of like a little bit of war in there. We're talking a lot about the war. There's also like this interesting like talk about like gangsters in the movie.
oh yeah,
And we have this one guy who really does look like a freaking gangster, right?
yeah. I'm here.
Yeah, okay, okay. I'm sorry. I thought you were lost for a second. I was like,
No,
wait,
no,
wait
no,
a
no, no. Like I know who you
yeah, yeah,
like, and this is historical. So I think one of the characters, I think the one you're thinking of, the one that just fucking like he came in, he's the one that was helping them get to the boat and stuff.
yeah.
His name's actually Blackie Lau, and that dude fucking ruled throughout this film. So, and in a historical context, he's a historical figure. Like most of these people that they name are historical figures.
Yep. Yep. And I also just I fell in love with the way that she approaches it. Like it's a old man who's telling this story through like a documentary type of aspect.
Yeah, and that's what I couldn't get. I'm like, and it's so good in that I don't know if that guy's the actual kid
Yeah.
that she's portraying. Like I know it's not the kid grown up, but I don't know if he was like the real person.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's so good where you're questioning that. It's like I don't know.
Yeah. And also, like, I laugh at the fact that this was released 20 years like into the the passover of Hong Kong back to China from the British government, when like I feel like that end is really a big commentary on China and saying like, look at what we went through with the Japanese, and if you've been paying attention to what's been happening in Hong Kong, you know that nothing has really changed. Like,
No,
they
they're
still
still
have a
going
very
through it.
oppressive police force, and China still has a very very rough hand in there. And it's just, I don't know, I felt very like, oh, like this feels like something that's more so saying commentary on China here, and it's like it was released in China, like they were able to actually screen this in China, like I
I mean, but we've seen this before. We've seen like political commentary come in the form of film. Tarkovsky did it in one
oh,
film where he took Russia's money and was basically telling them they were a bunch of fuckheads,
yeah,
like throughout the whole
stalker,
film, or
yeah.
the church too.
Yeah, well, Fellini with the church and 8.5.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So we've seen it multiple times of commentary, and then the political organizations or the religious organizations not understanding anything that the film is
yep,
saying, right over the head. Kurosawa did it in a few films for the Japanese government. So I
yeah,
mean, it's crazy.
yeah,
So that's my feeling is. I don't know if China was just like, yeah, go ahead, make the film, and they just like were, oh, this is a pretty good action flick, and that was it.
yeah. I was just also like, what's it called, like the performances in this in the movie is like are pretty damn good. Like, they're not like amazing, right? Like, but they're pretty damn good, and they really do get the story
There's
aside.
the
What's his
main
name?
characters uh let's see, Zhao Zun and I guess her boyfriend. I thought they did amazing. I thought they really carried the story, and then the character who played Blackie Lau, I thought
Right.
he was really talented. But you're right, a lot of the cast like they were good enough.
Yeah.
Um but it's just a lot of the cast worked well together. Like Zhao Zun and the older woman who portrayed her mother. I thought that was pretty
Hey,
good.
Tony Long was in this movie. Wow. Tony Long from the all the Wong Kar Wai films we just watched in the
Yeah.
last. Yeah, I didn't notice him. Wow. Hey man, Tony Long was a hot is a hot commodity in Hong Kong.
Well, I
Man,
will say there was a big cast. There was a huge
yeah,
cast in this. Like you can see
yeah.
the names here.
I'm looking at a lot of these are like Hong Kong Film Award winning actors. Like
Hmm.
like these are like, I'm gonna guess these are big names in Hong Kong. Um, But like I said, the film really works well. I really liked just this story because it's at face value you're like, oh, it's a story about immigrant family who's trying to get out of Hong Kong, because if you look at the time, this is a really really hard time where this is about to go like really south here, and the Japanese are going to take over. Um, of
It was already going south.
Yeah,
Like you there were the scenes where they were banging like the cans
no
or whatever the
money,
hell
no
they're banging.
food. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, and that I think that was a warning that the Japanese were coming into the city looking for girls to basically, yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I really, really like the way that Anwei kind of like attempt approach that, and like she just like she leaves that frame on the other girl, and she's just kind of like scared in a way, but she knows she shouldn't go outside, right? But
Yeah.
the other lady, like Mrs. Fong, was like, oh, they're just looking for girls now, and like it's
Oh, and then every time they'd have to turn off all the lights and yeah.
yeah,
So it was yeah, you definitely get the whole stress of that situation from
yeah.
those moments of being like, "Oh god."
Yeah, I was really like scared that Mrs. Fong was about to get like her her crotch inspected for money, like because he starts like checking her arms, right, and then like he does this part where he kind of goes like in the middle there, and he finds like
Uh-huh.
in the inside the shirt, but I
Well,
thought for a
and
second he was gonna like pull her pants down, like inspect her in there, and I was like,
well, yeah, and
oh
you can see she was putting her hands over that area
yeah,
where both the note was, but also over, her private area.
yeah, yeah. But man, I was just really impressed with this. I was blown away with how the story floats so well. And it's saying something because there's a lot of like threads here inside this story. There's the
and
whole part with the
and
gorillas, the gorilla fighters, and then you
the
know
family
the family
relationships thrown in that.
relationships. Yeah, and it all just comes together pretty well, Brad, to work pretty seamlessly to me.
It's a lot. Like it's a lot to make work, and it could have gone off the rails anytime. I think the only thing I can say, and I'm not even going to take points off for this because it's usually, do you have the tech or do you have the money for this? Some of the CGI they did, like the bullets, like the bullets when they're rolling down the hill, and then when the mother and the one woman are killed. Yeah, it's not the best looking. I'm not going to take points off for that though. Like,
Yeah,
because like I can't take points when the rest of the film to get to that point was pretty damn amazing.
yeah. Well, I can say that I really did like this movie. It was definitely better than Black Adam. I will tell you that right now. It was a million times better. I really liked the color of this film. It felt very like
Oh yeah.
it felt very different. It reminded me a lot about this one film from One Gar Wai called Days of Being Wild. That very like green tone to it that worked really well for it, and it really made the atmosphere kind of unique in a way that I hadn't seen. A lot of films from the United States do something like that. Because whenever we portray a foreign country here in the United States, we always
It's
do
usually yellow.
the yellow tint, right? But I think it looked great. Story got me. I like the performances
What did you
and
think of the framing throughout it?
fantastic, man. I love the way that she frames that. Very, it's not like too loose, but it's also not too tight.
Mhm.
She has a way of like making sure that everything kind of gets put into the frame, but also very important stuff is kind of left in there as well. And I love the way that just
I
was not. It wasn't made to feel as claustrophobic as it should be.
no, and she has so many moving parts in this film that
Yeah,
it's amazing to me how she keeps it. Because, like we said, it's a romantic movie, it's a drama,
a war
it's a
film.
war movie, it's a spy thriller in some parts. It's like
Yeah,
it's just crazy how like many things are moving throughout this film, and it all is incorporated so well. Because like we've seen many times when a director just kind of goes off the rails and doesn't know what to do, so they do
yeah,
everything and it just doesn't work. But this seems to mesh like very well together.
yeah. And one thing I also point out is just the way that it's like, and it's something that to me it's like I'm glad that we do these types of months here. Like we actually try to like balance out the new releases with the old releases that we do on here because it's very important, especially when you look at stuff like this, to see how different the genres are in different countries. Because like this is a war film, y'all. It's talking about a war. It is based during a war, but there is never like an actual real conflict happening. There's no like straight up gunfights and stuff like that because necessarily a war film doesn't really work like that. Like Come and See doesn't really have a part where everybody is on two different sides and they're coming in and just
Yeah,
shooting each other.
but the
It's
tension is there,
yeah,
and that's what this film has too. Is you just feel that tension throughout this movie of like I don't know if I should get used to this character because this character could be gone at any minute.
yeah. That's how I felt about what's it called about Mrs. Fong, and who at the end she just to me it just like broke my heart when she was like she kept telling that girl like I'm sorry, like she's like I'm really sorry, like this is what
Oh, and
happened, and then the other one like make sure you tell him that you don't know me because she's gonna end up being in the same situation with her.
yeah, like yeah, Mrs. Hong was a gangster there to the end.
Yeah, yep, a real G, man. Uh, Brad, what are you gonna go ahead and give? What's your final verdict on Our Time Will Come?
I'm gonna give Our Time Will Come a 9.5 out of 10.
Whew, all right. 9.5 out of 10. Near perfect score here from
Near
Brad.
perfect.
And I'm guessing that that's Brad holding off because he doesn't know what is yet to come in the month.
Well, and also, like I said, there were small parts where I thought it lagged a little bit,
Yeah.
but not much.
I
Not
wonder how
much to
that
take off enough.
I wonder how different that would feel if we watched it without ads.
Right? You make a point. Yeah, you
Yeah.
do make a point. So I would have to need I need to watch this movie then without ads. That's what I will step up. But I think we started off this month with a really good film.
Yeah, me too. I'm gonna go ahead and give Our Time Will Come an 8.75 out of 10. I think it was really good. I like I said, I don't have a lot of problems with it, but I really felt that like the ads really did disrupt the way that at least I viewed the film. And I
Especially when
would
they cut
like,
off at the really good parts.
especially when they cut out the really good parts, bro. Tubi didn't used to be like that, Brad, and I hate that
Like I
it's like
remember
that now.
Tubi when it had only like 3 ads.
Yeah,
This
one
one
in
had
the
like 6 or
beginning,
7.
one in the middle, and one
One
in
at
the
the end.
end.
Yeah.
Yeah, not anymore, Brad. They hate us, man.
So
But
I think what we need is someone to join Patreon and have us watch the full movie as a
yeah,
commentary in the future
yeah, in the
without
future,
you.
right? Yeah, I hope that's what happens because what's it called? It is a pretty damn good movie, guys, and I really do think that you all should watch it, and you should all definitely what's it called look into the filmography a long way because that's what we're doing this month,
I mean,
and
I'm
that
excited for the rest of the month.
hell yeah, and that concludes our review of Our Time Will Come. I'm really excited, man. I think this was a really good one to start off, and
This is a
now
good way to start for sure. Like so I'm hoping it kind of goes in the same direction, just up.
me too. Me too. I hope that's what it goes. Next week, we are going to be looking at her documentary called Boat People. It looks at specifically Vietnam after the Vietnam War.
That's gonna be
And
interesting.
yeah, that film is available on Criterion Channel, so that won't be difficult to find. But we have, we
That may be a hard watch though.
we'll see, man. I mean, it's a, so this movie is in the Criterion Collection. They put out a Blu-ray for this one. I heard about it, and I specifically heard that it was about like Vietnam, and I was really interested to see what it was all about. And I'm kind of glad that I chose this one because I didn't know that this was her movie. I
Yeah,
thought it was a different director, but yeah, we have a lot going on, y'all, and of course, we want to thank you all so much for joining us. For those of you all who are watching on YouTube, please do us a huge favor: leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and click that notification bell. 3 easy steps, y'all, right on the tip of your fingers. You don't want to miss a single piece of content drops on the channel, so you want to hit that notification bell. If you're listening to us on the audio waves, go to your audio podcast app, click the 5 stars if you're able to, and drop us a review. It would help us out a lot, and we really do appreciate it. Of course, we would also like to remind you all that we're on social media, so you should follow us on Twitter at the Nerdcore underscore, Instagram at the Nerdcore, our website, thenerdcore.com, our Patreon, so you can get this episode live before it ever goes to the public at patreon.com/slash the Nerdcore. And then our Discord link to talk movies with us is in our description of the audio podcast format and the video format on YouTube. So check us out, y'all. We would appreciate it if you do that. We want to specifically also thank our Patreon supporters because without our Patreon supporters, this is not possible. They're the people who make sure that we still have a network afloat, and we want to thank them so much for doing that. Of course, we want to thank our producers, our legacy producer, Shane. Where can you find him, Brad?
you can follow our friend Shannon at twitch.tv/xsrk or on Twitter at thriftedil or go buy something from the Suppy God at PrisonCityVintage.com.
Damn straight, man. And of course, I believe that's it for us here. Uh, I'm gonna check real quick here to see if we have anybody else. Um, Crap. Did this whole time do we have? Hold on, man. This is
Patreon can be a little complicated,
yeah. I really can sometimes, right?
like
Uh,
finding anything on the site.
yep. They have done a better job, though, Brad. I will say
They
that. And
had
yeah,
than when we first started. Yes,
yes, they have done a better job.
yes.
Um, I just want to make sure that I'm making sure that I everybody gets read their names if they have what's it called a shout out, and apparently that is not the case. Okay, yeah. So our only producer was what's it called Shane. So thank you so much, Shane. And
But
of
thank you to
course,
all our other Patreon supporters as well.
yeah, of course, yeah. Without y'all, none of this is possible. And of course, I will see you all later this week for our review of Creed 3. Luis and I will be sitting here with y'all to talk about that film. Brad will be back next week and we'll be talking about Boat People. But without further ado, Brad, let's go ahead and send the wonderful people out.
All right, Raul, thank you for being host as always. Thank you to all those who join us in chat in the future. Thank you to all our listeners out there, all our Patreon supporters. We appreciate each and every one of you. And to end this episode, I'm just going to say, Ann Hui for the win. Young Yoda out.
Got my attention, man.